This is Working for Progress, a podcast that connects us through conversations about how we craft our working lives and make progress. We'll be joined by our communities from Tribe Porty and Keystone. Tribe Porty is a community co-working space and creative hub. We are full of entrepreneurs, social enterprises, freelancers, charities, and SMEs. Keystone is the other social enterprise which supports women to reimagine their working lives. We do this by providing a holistic approach to business through courses, programs, mentoring, group coaching, and events.
Welcome to today's conversation. I'm Alice, the community manager at Tribe Porty.
And I'm Dani, founder and director of both Tribe Porty and Keystone.
Here at Working for Progress, we're all about connecting good people, sharing their stories, their challenges, and the progress they make for themselves and for others. We hope this podcast challenges your ways of thinking and inspires you to work for progress.
Working for Progress starts with simple pleasures, finishes in awe, and meanders through career journeys in between. Today we have Keith Kirkwood. Keith has been a member at Tribe more or less since the beginning. Keith is a senior technical writer for software and tech products. Keith is also a keen musician and plays drums and percussions and has just released an album with his band Idiogram. Welcome, Keith.
Hello.
Thank you for coming in.
Cheers.
Or down, as we say.
Coming down. Coming on down.
You're quite special in a way. So in terms of the Tribe community, you've been here for a long time. One of the longest standing members.
Wouldn't like to count the years, maybe.
But I think we met initially through TEDx Portobello. Mm. You volunteered on that gigantic project.
Auspicious days, yeah.
For year 1, year 2, and year 3?
Less so in year 3, I think, if memory serves.
I can't quite remember.
That was the handover year when it was being given to some new peeps, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm like that with year 3. I'm like, I was there, but I don't remember very much. Anyways.
Definitely the first couple of years, yeah. And when it was like you and Joe kind of driving it forward, those are the times.
Yeah, but good. So how many great people in your life from those 2 TEDx's or 3 TEDx's?
Yeah, I mean tons. Yeah, for sure.
All roads lead back to TEDx and Tribe in terms of quite a big group of social connections.
Yeah.
It's good for that. Anyways.
I think it's also the first time I met Ellie, who just started here as well, actually. Was it one of those?
Yeah, I know. 'Cause she's another one that's kind of been in the periphery around since the beginning, really. I think she volunteered to take photos at the first one or the second one. I can't remember. And then obviously was a audience member. We're going to start out nice and easy. Love to hear your 5 simple pleasures.
Oh, yes. So I love a novel, a science fiction per preference. A good album or music or playlist for sure. A nonsense dad joke will always is a bright spot in the day. I'm sure I had others. I can't think of them right now.
That's okay. Funny that all those...
a bike ride.
Oh, bike ride. Okay, cool.
Bike for sure.
Nice. I was going to say, well, actually, all 4 of those in some way take you out of reality a bit, huh?
Well, yeah, for sure. Yeah. That always used to be a criticism I would get. Would be like, from like earliest school reports, lives in his own mind, lives in his imagination. I'm like, and now it's we'll get to it in a minute, I guess, but that's one of my values is like have an imagination for sure. So yeah,
I love that. Let's go straight there. Let's talk about your values. Tell me about your core values and how, I suppose, in your daily life, it doesn't have to be your working life, but kind of your living, how they play into your life just now.
Yeah. So I'll need to start with some like giving credit where it's due. So I have 2 pages in front of me, and this is some coaching I did with the man, the legend, Jeffrey Baines.
Oh yeah. Who's
recently left town. So if you're listening, Big G, keep on keeping on. So thanks for your time here. So I have, I've written down 3 here: care, imagination, and resonance.
New ones for values. Like it. Let's listen. Let's hear more about that. All of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So care, I sort of interpret in a few different ways. It can be like the obvious sense of like showing some care for somebody, or it can be taking care when you're doing something enough to like do a good job of it. Just being careful with who you affect. Various interpretations of that. Sort of like the simplicity of knowing how your actions have affected other people, I suppose.
Where do you think that comes from?
It's probably a family thing. Probably my mum, I think, probably. Yeah. Always very careful.
In the
I said
sense
that even though I'm thinking about it.
In the sense that she demonstrated that to you, or demonstrates that in the way that she is? Yeah,
definitely, yeah. Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's such a simple thing, right? But some sort of modern business and stuff like that takes its eye off that.
Also, I think it's pretty more natural to do that when you take care of yourself. But when you're feeling good, then you're able to have more care.
Taking care of yourself, I hadn't even included that one. That one's tough for me, actually. I probably the first of several massive tangents. Somebody. So I've always gone around saying I'm not competitive because I don't like normally competitive things like sport or anything like that. I also don't like when people have to lose. The idea of a competition means someone has to lose. I don't like any of that stuff. So I would go around saying I'm not competitive until a therapist actually pointed out that I might be competitive with myself. I was like, oh damn. I've never been one for giving myself an easy ride, and that is something I'll be working on probably forever.
And I'm not a therapist, but I'm just extending the invitation to apply that care to yourself as you have it as your core value.
There's a mental leap, but yeah, a good one.
I mean, all of us, but yeah. That if that feels like a core value, that seems important, doesn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I love it. Okay.
Good tip. Next one. So imagination. So I think of this as the sort of group of things around creativity, like a superset of creativity almost. So you can't be creative, even in the most simple sense of imagining a different way to do something, unless you're using your imagination in some sense, right? So you have to be able to imagine different alternatives, and even just to like speculate. But I love imagination in fiction and narratives and so on. So just seeing what could be rather than what is in front of you.
I like that. Sorry, I'm trying to get my head around the nuance between imagination and creativity.
Right.
How do you see them different?
I guess it is a bit subtle, isn't it? Just that, I don't know, I think when people say creative, even sometimes creative is like turned into a noun. You're a creative. But
true.
Like, it also tends to, do you do anything creative? When you ask someone, they go, oh, well, I'm not arty or musical or
you're
any
right.
of these things.
Yeah.
But that person probably has some sort of imagination in some aspect of their lives. If it's imagining something different they could do with their kids, or imagining what they might do on the weekend, just that.
Yeah, I like that.
I think it's a very core human thing to have an imagination, unless you actively repress it by being horrible to yourself.
Well, I guess the world tends to kind of try and get us to suppress it at some ways as well, because we all start out super imaginative as children.
Sure, right. Oh, that's a great one. Yeah, we do.
So that is a good way. I like that slant on creativity, because I think you're right. I think you say the word creativity and people are like, oh, I'm not creative. I don't draw. I don't sing. I don't play a musical instrument. But that's not what it means. It's not limited to those things, is it? But you're right. If you say imagination, you have an imagination, then it kind of, that is open to everybody.
And it's like present in bigger picture stuff too, like society and so on, There's always thing about, well, we have capitalism in markets because there's no alternative. I'm like, well, could we? Is it possible we could think of something else and try it? Something you've done here, obviously at Tribe, is like build a space that's focused around community is a massive value, and that isn't what every co-working space is like. Having reviewed a few of them recently for my employer, like they're not all like that. So,
how do you make sure you're attending to your imagination?
I mean, I don't know. I just watch and read a lot of stuff that I like. It tends, I mean, I'm probably a stereotype, it falls into science fiction, fantasy, speculative fiction. One of the book group here falls into that.
That kind of feeds
that's
that.
not answering the question, is it? How do I tend to my imagination?
I think it kind of is, but yeah, it's good. I'm always curious because I'm thinking every year on my year compass, I'm like, oh, tap into play, tap into my creativity, but like actually finding ways to do that is the hard part. So I was just curious if you had tips of like,
do I have tips? I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I guess finding what it is for you probably is the thing, isn't it?
well, I suspect if one of your favorite things to do is read novels, fiction novels, and I guess that is tapping in to your imagination. I mean, that's a great way to tap into an imagination. I always forget every time because I read lots of non-fiction, and every time I read a fiction, I'm like, why don't I do that more often? Because I think I'm not going to learn something, but actually you are tapping into.
For me, it's like so energizing.
Yeah.
Like to read a story that's based in. Oh, what's the line we have for book group? Distance from reality, I think. We're trying to define what speculative fiction is to the book group, and it's distance from reality. So there we go. That's it. So I tend not to enjoy like historical novels and stuff like that, whereas things that are a little bit to the left of what's real, and I leaned away there. That's a useless move when you're on a mic, isn't it?
Well, we might hear it.
This is great for radio. Yeah.
Cool. And what was your third one again?
Resonance.
Resonance, yeah.
This was a tricky one to get right. So this is maybe related to the other two. Probably is. So what I've got here, making something as good as it can be by attentive placement or interaction with its component parts or people. What the hell did I mean by that? I mean, I wrote these things years ago, and now things being in the right place in the right way at the right time for the humans that are involved in that thing, for which you kind of have to be paying a lot of attention to who's there and what they want and what they need. And when the thing is just right, it's brilliant. Like you've paid enough attention to this thing to make it great for the people who are involved. That's like chef's kiss for me. The opposite of that would be doing what you think needs to happen and enforcing on other people. That's not resonance. That's using authority to.
So I'm
crush.
getting my head around this. So really, when things, kind of the sum of its parts, come together and work together to create something that wouldn't be working otherwise.
I guess that's, yeah.
Is that what you mean by that?
So
no,
it's a good interpretation.
Sort of, yeah.
It's actually, and now I'm thinking about this again now, is the stuff I thought when I wrote this down comes back to me. So resonance is an engineering term for when you put the right things into a system, the system responds by being at its maximum.
Okay.
There's an electronics thing for it, but
so kind of like synergy in a way.
Synergy. That's probably another way. Actually, let me just write that down now. Yeah, that's much better than resonance.
No, I don't want to take that away from you. I'm trying to wrap my head. It's a great word, and I think I just want to I guess it's where you're coming from.
A simpler way, it's like when things just work out really well. For me, that comes from paying attention to the people who are involved and going, they need this.
So that's how you live that out.
Here we are.
As a value, you're paying attention to.
Yeah. And then feeding into your work or whatever it is, or the thing you're doing.
Kind of comes back
just
to
what
care.
needs to be there. I guess it does come back to care, yeah.
But
although
in a kind of bigger way.
Care is more as like the interaction and resonance a bit more towards the outcome, maybe.
Yeah.
But
I would love to hear the worst or most random job you've ever had.
Yes. So I promised myself at the outset of this I wouldn't do too much negative self-talk. So
I did ask you worst, though.
You did? Yeah, sure.
It's okay.
Yeah, so I did work for a financial software company for a few years after the downturn in 2009. And if anyone knows me at all, when they're listening to this, they'll know that I'm not into that shit. Can I swear on this podcast a little bit?
You can do what you like, yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm really not into that shit. It's a cause of a lot of ill. However, it was any port in a storm type situation. So some of the people were okay, but I didn't enjoy the work. Bad times overall. Managed to get, and because of that, I then managed to actually do some of this stuff. I'm pointing at my strengths on the page, which led me to do what I'm doing now, which is technical writing, which I've been stuck with for about 10 years.
And so, it was horrible because you just didn't agree with the work itself, mostly?
The work itself, yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't really want to talk about it too much. It's bizarre.
It was clearly hit something.
It was like a stocks and shares trading platform thing.
Yeah.
I won't name the company, but
no,
it did not suit my values. It's a funny thing. So this is not something that's been directly asked here, but like I am an employee of it, and I always have been.
Yeah.
I think when I started at Tribe, it was mostly freelancers and various self-made people. I guess the mix is a bit different now, right? So
it's actually 58% employees. No,
majority
majority employees.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah.
What do you know?
Yep. You are no longer the minority.
I think as if you're an employee, particularly if you've got like very strong leadership, you can convince yourself, or I convince myself pretty easily that your role there is to do what's required for the company and not what's required for you. It's very easy to put yourself in second place,
of course,
or fifth place.
Yeah.
So that was a big example of that for me, probably. But it was just after the downturn, and I had been through like 3 jobs in a row that only lasted for a few months, or 6 weeks in one case, because the company's just folded or didn't need the work. So
clearly that had a emotional impact on you. Did it have a physical impact on you?
Did it have a physical impact? I mean, I was kind of this is depressing chat.
Sorry,
I had one particularly crappy summer where I was out of work, and I didn't realize exactly how. I mean, I basically stayed in for 3 months in the summer.
After that job.
After losing one. No, after one of the layoffs.
Okay.
I think a lot of folk got laid off. In that
I suppose that's slightly different. I didn't
realize until afterwards, and I kind of went, "Holy crap!" I was not in a good way there. So.
Yeah. Clearly, work is important to you.
I suppose so. Oh, I don't know. Yeah. Oh, I sounded really Scottish there for a second, didn't I?
Okay.
I like getting good at stuff, that's for sure. And I guess what you do for work is one of the easier places to put that bit of yourself. I don't know. I can't remember who it was now. I was talking about with someone about. She mentioned being a Type A personality, and I had to remind myself what that was. I was like, so by that I mean you're goal focused. You push on things really hard. You don't quit. All that kind of what you might express negatively as a sort of hustle mentality a little bit. And it was we're kind of going around going, oh, do you do that? And I suppose I probably do in certain senses when I feel like it. Kind of push to get something right. That's probably something to do with resonance. I've lost my thread.
No, that's okay. I think I know where you're going.
But and then so I'll go through periods of this. I've had this thing where I went through periods of pushing myself quite hard at work, and then actually getting quite ill or unhappy about it, and then having to dial way back to 60% or less for a while. I hope my employer's not listening. Having to dial it back a bit, and then and sort of ping-pong between those. And obviously I guess the ideal would be to find a third way in the middle where you're doing what you need to make stuff happen with your work, but you're not melting yourself in the process. I mean, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah.
It's an interesting conversation I don't think we have very often, and that is, as an employer, do you actually expect your employees to work 110%, 100% all the time?
This is it's a big deal.
And that's wrong to think that.
I mean, there's duty of care stuff. You're not just looking.
It's impossible as well.
Leaders have to look at. I'm going to try and be objective here. Your leaders have to look out for the business results and the people.
Yes.
In at least equal proportion, or pay attention to them both, or take care of them both.
Yeah.
But imagine if it said that on a job application. If the first line was, you got to work to the bone every day. You're not going to apply for that.
No,
job,
you wouldn't.
You know?
Oh,
So
one of
why do we
my
expect that when
so
you're in
tech
it?
industry. One of my favorites is on the job description. This is a fast-paced, dynamic environment. You can read that as
That's a nice way.
we are not organised. We have no way to manage our peaks and troughs. We have no way to so we're going to make this your problem. I run a mile from that. I mean,
red flag.
big one.
Yeah. Also, do you want unwell employees? Because then that's going to be more expensive. So it's like thinking about things differently that we get wrong. So I don't think you need to apologise to your employer, because what comes across is that you care about your work.
I was going to do that. Jeez.
You did it.
I did it. Oh yeah, I did it. I actually did that. Yeah. I mean, I've had mostly really good leaders and managers in front of me, and at the various jobs I've had, with a few exceptions. And if you have someone who's demanding things of you that you don't think you can or should be required to do, be that working too long or too hard or on the wrong stuff, you've got to find some way in yourself to say that. It's hard because I'm generally quite a sensitive individual. It used to be even more so. But you got to demand what your basic rights are at some level eventually, right? You don't deserve that shit. You do not.
No, and I think it should be an approach taken by, everybody, not just, employees demanding or employers demanding. It's we're humans and we'll mess up, and employers don't necessarily know how to get it right either, and they mess up. But if there's not an open channel of communication and a kind of shared value system, or at least a shared goal of what you want to do at work, then you're just going to constantly have authoritarian dictatorship versus disgruntled employee not being their best.
Case, yeah. I mean, it's in the tech industry as well, which I've not actually explicitly said that's where I work. There's obviously much worse. There's terrible. There's really terrible cases at companies. Amazon spring unbidden to mind. The delivery staff, I have heard from pretty good sources that all the things we heard in the press are true.
Yeah.
I won't repeat them because they're disgusting, but god damn.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be allowed. If I can give any piece of advice to anyone who might be listening to this, please don't buy things from Amazon.
I know.
Just don't do it.
Yeah. Although, do you know what? I'm not defending Amazon at all. It's horrible. But I'm thinking about my 83-year-old mother-in-law who can't get to the shops, and so to have something delivered to her house.
Oh yeah.
It's so easy, and it doesn't remember.
I love online deliveries.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
But there's
No, don't use Amazon.
I mean, even if I had to get some sort of I don't know, a cable or something, a commodity thing, I'll go on eBay, I'll find a distributor in the UK, and I'll maybe buy it from them, or I'll go to, another website for computer components or something.
Yeah.
Just not Amazon.
Yeah. No, hear ya.
I get very black and white about this very quickly, which usually things aren't black and white, but.
No, I hear you.
Fuck it.
I know.
I feel pretty black and white about this.
Fine.
There are big bads out there, and I do think they're one of them.
Yeah, agree. I totally agree. Tell me about your biggest risk in your working life, or one of them. Right. Yeah. Or what felt like a risk at the time, even.
So yeah, I mean, I sort of half mentioned back there. I did a sort of not a complete career change, but 45 degrees or so to the right. So I started out as a software graduate, and then the various jobs I mentioned back through there were all in that area. And the sort of this turn I made to the right was into technical writing. So that was a bit of a leap, because even when I went to apply for the job or send my first email to the guy running the company, it was a guy. I didn't really know what it was. I looked it up very quickly and then just kind of went, oh, this sounds good based on some of the stuff I'd been doing, about the strengths and things. So yeah, that was a bit. I think that was actually the first time I had made a proactive career move of any kind. Actually,
reaching out.
Yeah, well, just looking for this specific type of job.
Okay.
In fact, I even think first of all, I tried to convince who I was working for at the time that I wanted to do some of that there because it felt like the right fit. Yeah, I'm a technical writer, so I make instruction manuals and online help guides and explainers and that sort of thing for technology products. Yeah.
I'm so thinking about your values. I think you are living those out through your work in the type of work that you do. No?
The imagination one's hard to get in, but the other two certainly.
Okay, maybe not the imagination, but then again, yeah, I suppose
I
technical
try.
writer.
I try.
Fair enough. Yeah.
But that was So that was a bit of a risk. In that I didn't know what I was going into, and it was a partially new skill set that I had to learn.
Yeah.
And it was also joining a company of one, so that the owner of that company, I was his first permanent employee, which was definitely new for me.
Yeah. Did that feel like a risk at the time?
It's hard to remember. I think it probably did, and it sunk in later. It sunk in later. Yeah, working at a small company. It wasn't a startup in the usual sense of a tech startup, but it had a lot of the same facets. So it was pretty high pressure. There was a very clear picture of what we had to do given to me, etc., etc. So, yeah, bit of a risk, but it seems to have worked out. I'm generally, if I can speak more generally about this topic, I am not really one of life's big risk takers overall. But I do like surprises. So it's funny. It's a funny one.
You don't like taking risks, but you like surprises.
I like surprises, to be constructively surprised by a new thing. But
wait a minute.
Tell you what, sorry. So to be surprised by things that I can actually contribute to in some useful way, whereas risk sort of, I've got a word-based brain, right? So I always wrap myself in circles around these things. Risk implies doing something dangerous to me, but conversely, I do commit to things real hard. I've been here for 7 years, right?
Yeah.
My employer for 10.
Yeah.
The band I'm in for 5 years. I commit to things pretty hard.
It's a good quality, I think. It ties into your care core value. I'm assuming you commit to things because you care. You care about the experience of others and how you're impacting the world and how you're taking care of others and situations.
That's wonderful sentiment.
Yeah. I'd love to hear the last time you experienced a sense of awe or a state of flow.
I play music in my spare time. I play drum kit in a band, and that is when you're performing music or whatever, in music in my case, with a group, and you get into the space where you have worked out what you're playing and you can simultaneously play and enjoy the experience of playing, that I think that qualifies as a state of flow for me. It's great.
Yeah.
Maybe even more than that, you're sort of playing your part and also reacting to what the other people in the group are doing while enjoying being on stage. It's like this little
I think that's
of internal harmony. It's great.
Kind of textbook definition of experience a state of flow, really, because you're into something that you've done enough that you can then address other things that are happening and connect in different ways while connecting with your hands that are doing it, but also enjoy the whole experience coming together. That
stuff's a really big deal for me because in my work, because I'm at a computer doing brain work, there's not a lot of you don't do much with your body basically, and me playing drum kit is the other side of that. You obviously use your head, right, but it's a very, very much an embodied thing. Playing rhythm, it's
does it happen all the time when you play drums, or just sometimes?
When you're learning, it goes through these stages for me. When you're learning a new part or trying to come up with something with the group, you don't get into a state of flow learning something new.
No, there's
that's not the same thing at all.
No,
I think that's all I'm trying to say here.
Yeah. No, for sure. I don't think that those are the times you experience a state of flow.
You get to a point where as a group you've learned it enough that you can start. It becomes a little bit more automatic, and you can then focus on, now what are we saying with this, or what can we do with it?
I wonder though, because it is you coming together with the kind of technical self and the letting go self, that if that state of flow offers up a new perspective.
I like the letting go bit there, yeah.
I've been thinking a lot about your working life, but like across the whole piece, from like the time you start earning money for a trade of skill of something, to when you stop working, or at least you stop working in the way that you have to work when you're kind of building your career. Do you have a thought about that? Like in I don't want to use a better word than retirement. I don't like the word retirement, but have you thought about your later working life at all?
Right. I've always thought it'd be quite nice to move away from technology at some point, to be honest, because it moves so fast and is continuing to move really fast. #AI. That it remains a younger person's game.
That's interesting. Just thinking about AI. So in some way you offer the human context that doesn't exist for AI just now.
Oh, that's nice. Technology moves so fast that I think every generation's had stuff they were able to get used to, stuff they could learn as a job, and then stuff that they reject because it's unnatural and weird. I think, so one of my favourite authors, Douglas Adams, I may have partially stolen some of what I said there from him possibly, but he said, you get things coming, technology comes in 3 phases. Yeah, stuff that you accept as in your childhood as part of the natural order, stuff that you can learn and benefit from as an adult, and stuff that's just unnatural and should be banned. Like he made it much funnier than that. And I can feel myself getting to that point with like VR and stuff like that, virtual reality now.
Well, I think you're in a good position with your core values going into the future, because I think those things are going to become more and more important as we move into a new phase of technology around AI particularly. That's good.
That's good.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Keith.
Thanks for having me. It's been good.
To hear more about Tribe Porty and Keystone, you can find us on all social media platforms. Please head over to our website and subscribe to our newsletters, which includes monthly blogs to provide helpful insights into how we craft our working lives. This has been Working for Progress. We hope you join us again.